This is a little video showing how a Fender Jazz Bass Mexico from 1998 performs. It's got something that looks like a rosewood neck, but I'm not sure what it's made of. Maybe it's bubinga, but it's a little bit lighter in color than rosewood neck. This one has got Bartolini J59 pickups, 2 single coils, and it's got individual volume pots, of course, and a tone pot and a phase switch. The phase switch switches the plus and minus of this bottom coil here, so that if you got these both on full, it can sometimes cancel out a little bit in the bass. So either you can roll down one of them and the tone changes a little bit, or you can have them on full and change phase. Now they're completely out of phase, so you can hear the sound gets really thin, so you have the option to change sounds a lot more with a phase switch. So the bridge pickup alone sounds like, and the neck pickup sounds quite a similar sound, but of course the neck pickup has a bit more bass because it's further away from the bridge, the string moves more. It's just the way it works. So I normally play it with full volume, and I roll off a little bit on the bridge pickup. It's got a standard Mexico bridge, and since it's a passive bass, there's no battery lid or anything on the bottom, and the jack output is a normal jack output there, like you would see on most instruments. If you want, you can remove this phase switch and put a jack hole here instead, if you like to have your wire out there. So I'm not using a bass amplifier today, I'm using a guitar amplifier, but I have a subwoofer placed beneath it, so it's just on the clean channel here. I've boosted the bass a little bit since this is a guitar amplifier. It doesn't really have much bass to begin with, but it sounds fine just to rehearse with and to make a little demonstration. It's got a lot of nice sustain. These strings are quite old, so they're not very bright anymore, but you get the impression. The tone knob is quite effective tone knob, so you can get these nice jazzy lines. you can get a lot of variety out of the tone. I can, if I turn down the bridge, no, sorry, the neck pickup now with the tone still completely off. Let's hear. Put the neck, I put the bridge on full. So if I try the neck on full, so the neck pickup has a little bit more output right now because it's taller. I've set it a little bit taller because I want when I use the bridge pickup alone, or most of the bridge pickup, I want it so I can slap without it touching the string. So that's why there's a little bit of volume difference. So I'll go back to my original settings with the tone on full, and I'll have the both pickups on full. And I'll roll this one off a little bit to get the tone I like the most. Wow, there is some bass. Painting just fell down. Quite a long sustain, nice and long sustain. So if I try to play something, just a mechanical slap riff, just the octave. Sounds normal. Personally, I like to use 5-string basses because a lot of riffs, they have the option for using a low note. So I use my E in the 5th fret of the A string, so I can So I just use the 5th string to have the option to, I don't need to down tune ever because I have the low B, and I can even do a low A if I want to play something like Korn or Tesseract. Not that I can physically play it, but if the bass can do it, I can't do it. So as I said, these strings are quite old. I think they're probably a few years old, but these Bartolini pickups, you can adjust the height with these screws, so you can get them up and down in relation to the height of the string. But they're really bright pickups, so you get a very open sound if you want. So you can imagine what that would be like with new strings. But of course, an important feature of a 5-string bass is the option to use the 5th string, the low B, And a lot of people complain on different 5-string basses that the low B has little volume compared to the others, but I don't think this bass has that issue. I think this is I think it's quite even. I think it sounds good, and I think that this is a 1998 bass. The lighting in here isn't so good, but I think you can still tell that this neck has become quite yellow over the years, because I think they have part nitrocellulose lacquer on this neck. At least it's not solid polyurethane like plastic, like it's on most new modern basses. So this ages quite nicely. This particular bass has a small crack you can see here from a screw. It's right here, but it's a shallow crack, and it's been there for years. It's coming from this screw here, but you can see it stops there. So it's not really an issue, but it's there. I just wanted to point it out so anyone watching knows that it's there. Actually, this particular bass also had a replacement of the nut here on the end of the truss rod, because that was stripped from someone not using the proper tools to adjust the truss rod. But now this has been replaced, and the neck has been given a heat treatment to give it a nice relief back. So when the strings are up to tuning, the neck is straight and nice. It has a very nice setup right now. It's been intonated. I don't know these bass chords, but you can tell. See how far apart these notes are? It sounds very nice. I personally like Queen, and John Deacon plays a P bass, which is a bit different from this, but you still get a you can play those nice John Deacon lines with this bass. I think it's quite versatile. It's quite versatile. So you hear the pot scratch a little bit there. It's like with any guitar, if you don't use it a lot. I have a Stingray, so I use a Stingray a lot. But I have this bass as well, but it doesn't get used that much. So, but as you can see, it's a versatile instrument. It's these are single coils, however. So if you're used to playing a humbucker instrument like a Stingray, for example, where you have 2 coils engaged at the same area at once, those and bigger magnets, those basses can have a bit more output than this, but they can also be a bit hard to tame because they overload not overload, but they quicker saturate the input circuit of stuff, so you don't get that much headroom as you get with this. This is definitely a good looking bass. It's you can see it's got very few actual scratches. It's been treated very nice. I don't think it's ever been dropped. It has no there are no dings or scratches here on the end. So for a 21-year-old instrument, I think we can say that the Fender Mexico products were good quality and something anyone can use if this is the sound you're looking for. A pick when I play bass. I have a small guitar pick in my pocket here, so I can take it out. This is a Jazz 3 pickup. It's not really suited for bass playing, but can do pick stuff with it fine. Yeah, so this is the Fender Jazz Bass Deluxe 5-string made in Mexico in 1998 with Bartolini J95 J59 pickups, and I hope you enjoyed this little introduction to the bass. Yeah. Cheers.